You've been told that building an email list is the key to consistent income, and that the best way to grow that list is with a lead magnet. But here's the truth that no one talks about. A growing email list doesn't automatically mean growing revenue. And most people are out here following all the right steps, trying to create a lead magnet, grow your audience, nurture them with content, only to find that months and months have passed and they still haven't made a single sale. This happens because unless you already have a big audience or a massive ad budget, the build a list and launch later strategy just doesn't hold up. And in this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact funnel that helped me generate over $88,000 in passive sales with a small audience, without live launching and without sending a single DM. And yes, it did start with a lead magnet, but it worked because of what came next. Hey there, my name is Maylea, and I give entrepreneurs the blueprint to grow your audience, automate your sales, and build a business that works for you 24/7 so you don't have to. If you're new here, be sure and hit that subscribe button. I put out brand new videos like this on this channel every single week, and I don't want you to miss the next free training I release. When I started my digital course and coaching business, I had no audience, no influence, and no clue where to start. I was told to build an email list, but I didn't have months and months to wait around giving free value before I started making money. It wasn't enough to just show up on social media and build my list. I had to figure out a way to monetize that growth early on so that I could stay in the game long enough to build real momentum. So whether you're a brand new entrepreneur who wants to start generating sales quickly while growing your audience at the same time, or you've been on the scenes for a while, maybe you've been posting content, building your list, but you're unsure of how to connect the dots between the content you're creating and actually making daily sales in your business, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to turn any lead magnet into what I call a micro offer funnel that generates income on autopilot even if your audience is really small. If you haven't watched the last week's video yet, I highly recommend you start there because I walk you through how to create a high converting lead magnet that actually attracts buyers and not just freebie seekers. So watch that first, then come back here because this is where we're going to take that freebie and plug it into the sales system that works for you 24/7. And to make this even easier, I've also created a free workbook called the Micro Offer Idea Generator. It's going to help you come up with a profitable plug-and-play low-ticket offer to pair with your lead magnet. You can grab it now at globalfreedomcommunity.com/micro, and I've linked it below for you as well. Okay, so let's get into it. When I launched my first online business, I did what most people do. I created a lead magnet so that I could start building my list. The first lead magnet I created was actually called the 4-Step Online Prospecting and Team Building Blueprint. Now, at the time, I was partnered with my mom. We were selling digital education products for people in the network marketing industry. So that lead magnet very closely aligned to who we were trying to help and the problems they wanted solved. We offered this guide in a few formats over the years, as a PDF, as a video training. The truth is the format didn't matter. What mattered is what happened after somebody opted in. Most people build out their lead magnets like this. You've got a landing page where someone can opt in for your lead magnet in exchange for their main email. Then they're taken to a thank you page where they can either immediately download that resource or they receive a message telling them to check their email for the link. But what comes next is this big blank question mark because you're posting content, you're capturing leads, but then you get stuck in the marketing friend zone, nurturing your audience, warming them up, working for months without any cash flow, while you work to develop and launch your paid offer. You do this because that's what you've been told to do. You're like, people tell you this is the way to do it. So you create a YouTube video, you post on Instagram, maybe you start a blog or a podcast, you give all this free value to nurture that list. And eventually, once you've nurtured enough, they tell you you will have earned the right to sell. And that model works, but it has a fatal flaw. It assumes you can afford to wait. Because the reality is building a warm email list takes time. And during that time, you were making $0. And when you do launch, that revenue you generate is rarely enough to sustain you and your business until the next one. I mean, sure, you might make a few $1,000s, which is awesome, and something that you should be very proud of. But is that enough to cover the cost of your business expenses, to pay yourself, and to buy some of that freedom that you've been craving until you launch again? Probably not. And for too many, their launch, the thing that they put months of blood and sweat and tears into, it ends in a big old flop. And I know because that's what happened to me. When I tried to launch my first digital course, I was so excited. I'd been posting consistently for about 3 months. I was working late into the night to build out the offer and the funnel for the first thing that I would sell. And then launch day arrived and my big payday resulted in exactly one sale. A sale that ended up having to refund because I couldn't afford to pay the course hosting platform for my new student that she would need in order to log in and access the material. This was not just devastating, it was defeating. I felt like such a failure. I had been working so hard. I had been talking this launch up to my friends and my family for weeks and months even. It was a feeling I'll never forget and one that I now spend a lot of time trying to help other people avoid. And that's where this funnel changed everything for me. So I wanted to figure out a way to start monetizing my audience quickly, to generate sales directly from that content that I was creating on social media without having to actually sell. And I'd already had a free lead magnet that aligned with my main paid offer. I told you what it was. And if you watched last week's episode, then you know how important it is that this be aligned. But then I had an idea. What if instead of sending people to a dead-end thank you page after they grab my lead magnet, what if I use that page to introduce them to a low-ticket digital offer that was a no-brainer next step to the free resource they just opted into? Little did I know that one idea would become the foundation of my global personal brand that would go on to do millions of dollars in sales. I created a simple digital product that was perfectly aligned with both my free lead magnet and my main paid offer. And I shared it with my new leads directly on the thank you page of my lead magnet funnel at a one-time easy yes price. Over the next few months, that funnel generated over 43,000 leads and 5,200 customers, resulting in $88,000 in passive sales from social media strangers who I had never met or spoken to, often within minutes of them finding me online. But that wasn't even the best part, because this offer, it was also designed to convert to the right type of client, somebody who was already a good fit for my main offer, which meant 41% of those new customers went on to purchase my main program, growing my business to over $300,000 in total sales in just 10 months. So let's talk about the 3 things I did that made this work well and that you can use too to create the same or even better results than I did. Number 1, and I cannot stress this enough, my lead magnet attracted the right person. It wasn't just valuable, it was aligned with our paid offer. And that is the biggest mistake that I see people make. They create a freebie on something that's way too generic, like Instagram growth tips, and then their course is about building a high ticket offer, right? There's no clear bridge. There's no reason for the person who got that freebie to buy the main offer. It has to be aligned. They need to feel like 2 steps in the same journey. Number 2, my low ticket micro offer was a natural next step. I didn't sell something random. I sold a mini training that complemented but did not compete with the free lead magnet. Because here's what's really important to understand. Your micro offer is introduced on the thank you page immediately after someone opts in. That means they haven't even consumed your freebie yet. So it should assume and correctly identify the next burning problem your ideal client has and offer a solution that helps them solve that problem before they even have to ask. When it's done right, it feels like, oh my gosh, wow, you're reading my mind. And that's when conversions happen effortlessly. Not because you hard sold them, but because you understood exactly where they were going next and you handed them the shortcut. Last, but certainly not least, it was designed to leave people wanting more by solving one problem while revealing the next. When I first used this strategy in my business, my mom and I had partnered together to help network marketers learn how to prospect and recruit online. Like I already mentioned, our freebie was a 4-step blueprint, something that people could download, skim, and use to get immediate clarity on the steps they needed to follow. The micro offer was a short course. It was less than 90 minutes, and it helped them take action on step 1 of that blueprint. Now, in my case, the micro offer taught them what to post on social media each week to get more engagement. People could take that training, test it out immediately with their next post, and see an instant win. But that left them with a problem, all right? They think, okay, I'm getting engagement, but now how do I turn this engagement into leads, sales, and signups? And that's the problem our main offer was designed to solve. That is the magic of a well-crafted funnel. That is why we not only did $88,000 in sales from the micro offer, But that immediately translated into daily sales to our main offer as well. In fact, our first full month of implementing this strategy, we did $7,650 in sales from the micro offer and $13,372 from the main offer. Month 2, $10,000 from the micro offer, $19,000 from the main offer. And if you're wondering how you drive traffic from that freebie micro offer funnel into your main offer, stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed, because that's the exact strategy I'll be walking you through in next week's video. So make sure you're subscribed to get notified when it comes available. All right, so let's look at a few examples. We're gonna go off of the freebie examples we covered in last week's video. So if your freebie was an automation checklist for online coaches and course creators, a good micro offer might be a PDF swipe file on how to set up an automated welcome sequence that drives leads into your paid offer. If your freebie was 5 gentle stretches to help you feel at home in your postpartum body, a micro offer might be a 15-minute workout designed to restore your core strength postpartum. If your freebie was how to spot the 7 red flags of an emotionally available man, the micro offer might be a mini masterclass on how to attract emotionally available partners. See how each one of these solves a specific problem, builds on the freebie, and creates a path to your core offer. The key is to keep it simple. Your micro offer should be fast to consume and directly connected to the freebie. Keep it in the no-brainer price range. I found anything under $30 works pretty well. Under $20 is even better, unless you have some really serious social proof or positioning. And if you're thinking, all right, Jordan, I want to try this, but I don't know what micro offer to create, that's exactly why I put together this brand new free resource called my Micro Offer Idea Generator. Inside this step-by-step workbook, you will see how to choose the best micro offer format for your niche, align it with a powerful lead magnet, and validate the idea before you build it. This resource is normally $197, but I'm giving it away free for a limited time. You can grab it now at globalfreedomcommunity.com/micro, and I have linked it below as well. Okay, so we've talked about how to create an irresistible lead magnet that generates leads directly from your content 24/7, and how to connect that lead magnet to a micro offer that turns leads into customers instantly and on autopilot. Get ready to join me next week for the next video in our series, where I'm going to be showing you how to create an automated funnel that drives all these leads to your main offer so that you can scale to 20K months in 90 days. Just don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when this training comes available. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.